So we have a bloodbath across the day today, and we got some absolutely disgusting numbers that came out on AMC, but let's start the video off with hedge funds. Swiss crypto hedge fund Tier Capital clashes with client over FTX exposure. Tier investor TGT has brought claims against the hedge fund that it ignored several warnings over its ties with the now bankrupt crypto exchange FTX, stating that Tier withdrew funds from FTX the day it went bankrupt, even though it had several warnings days prior. They also claimed that Tier ignored an internal risk requirement not to have over 15% exposure with one firm. They claimed criminal mismanagement. We know there were several hedge funds tied to FTX. We know FTX was corrupt. This is just another sprinkle on top, showing that hedge funds ran over their risk just to have ties with FTX. And hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman just dined in New York City with Axel Springer CEO after threat of Business Insider suit. This one's pretty interesting. Bill Ackman threatened to sue Business Insider last month, yet he was just spotted at dinner with the CEO of Business Insider's parent company, Axel Springer, seated together in the corner of the restaurant, where dinner at this place goes for $188 a person. Eyebrows were raised, and they're raising mine as well. Now, Renaissance Technologies reports 14,739% increase in ownership of AMC. This is false news. Rentech has reported changes in ownership of AMC in its quarterly filings with the SEC. However, the statement is incorrect. Is this a typo? Do they have a reason for putting out this fake news to mislead investors? But either way, they did increase their position 805% in AMC. Speaking of hedge funds as well as ownership, I want to touch on Virtu. Virtu Financial, Doug Sifu, is actually nothing more than a figurehead for the infamous market maker. What are they talking about here? Well, they're actually talking about the Founder Post IPO member, Mr. Viola. Vincent Viola actually owns 86.5% of the combined voting power of the outstanding common stock inside of Virtu as of December 31st, 2023. Basically, he's making the shots, he's making the calls. Doug Sifu isn't making the shots over here. Mr. Viola's 86.5% voting rights give him nearly autonomous influence that can negatively impact the value of Virtu stock, and his decisions so not need to align with the investors. What is his reasoning for owning this much of the stock? Beyond us, but let's talk about AMC in the chart. AMC is down 3.52% on the day, trading at $4.66. Honestly, looking beautiful. It didn't retrace all the way back down to this trend line, which it could have came lower to around $4.20, especially with everything across the board bleeding, but it didn't. If we take a look at the previous days, how well AMC held up, this is extremely substantial, correlated to the amount of short exempts that it had, which we're going to talk about in 1 second. One thing I wanted to note, the scale higher before getting this move that we are expecting is something AMC loves to do. It loves to build small momentum before a large move higher. And I can show you several different examples in the charts, at least 5, right? At least 10 maybe, where it likes to build momentum before getting a catapult. Every single time, right? So overall, AMC is looking very good. According to Stock Tracker, we have 14,000 calls compared to 4,000 puts expiring in the money, and then 56,000 calls expiring out of the money as well. We are winning on the options chain, and people are bullish as well. So the more we go higher, the more gamma ramp we will see, and then the more calls potentially being put in the money for next week, but we're looking at March 15th options chain because that one is bloated. That is also when the Fed meeting is. Speaking of the Fed meeting, we have to talk about what Citi is doing and what they potentially expect from the Fed in March. You can see AMC for the 16th, 275,467 for short exempt volume. Come and take a look at the 16th. What happened? AMC had a little bit of a hammer candle right here. Algorithms are trying to push this thing higher. That day would have easily brought us above $5. It's not what they want. They want it under. AMC coming into the week sitting at 12.23% short interest according to Ortex. Just paying attention to the trend there. Finally, GameStop credit card beginning April 4th, 2024. The new Power Up Rewards credit card is relaunching with a new name, new benefits, and more reasons than ever to sign up. The new GameStop Pro credit card has several customer benefits, including free year of Pro for new card holders, up to 4% back in rewards, 40 points per dollar spent. Points never expire for active card holders. There's no annual fee, and improved card security and protection with CVV as well as expiration date. And the cards look absolutely fire. So shout out GameStop. Hopefully this will affect the earnings down the road in a positive manner. We are losing on the options chain 1,000 calls compared to 5,000 puts expiring in the money. Short exempt volume still slightly high on GameStop, 27, then 11, then 7, especially correlated over to how much volume and how volatile it is. We're trading at 1352, down 4.25% on the day, came to the bottom of this channel. There are a couple things to note. if we are going to squeeze higher, you're going to see a faster move back above $15 in my opinion on GameStop either tomorrow or the next day, and then either taking off from there or retesting about $13.25. However, if GameStop just continues to break lower, this is going to play through an entire another cycle in my opinion, coming under $12.50, channel trading in this zone between $12.50 and $11 before waiting to make another move either in another cycle or squeeze higher. That would delay us likely all the way to about May, June. FTDs at the DTCC, February 16, 2024, saw 24.26 billion in Treasury settlement failures at the DTCC, bringing the yearly Treasury FTD total already to 819,488,317,095 FTDs, or the weekly to 117 billion, or the daily to 24.8 billion. Remember, settlement of a trade is the point which the seller is required to deliver the securities agreed upon in the trade, and the buyer has to deliver the funds to pay for the securities, which is not happening. The DTCC is getting a lot like Citadel. Just know that there's going to be no crossover bailouts. Finally, Citi is short the Russell 2000 ETF, which is the basket of small cap securities. It's their biggest investment. 5% of the funds holding tied up in this put. Also a massive put on the Qs, top tech stocks, and HYG corporate bond ETF. Looks like rate cuts will be delayed. Now, is Citi assuming rate cuts are going to get delayed? Having puts on the tech sector, having puts on the basket of small cap securities, especially with Nvidia about to report earnings, it's interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, take this with a grain of salt. Take what they're doing with a grain of salt. Now, before we get into the overall market, crypto, and some other plays and additional information to close out the week, get in the Discord. I'm in there on the daily. We talk stocks all day long. We have options trading alerts in there. We post gains, post losses. We also talk crypto, and I post my trades from my personal portfolio when I take them. I haven't really entered trades recently. I have a lot of stuff to get dealt with taxes and bills and also house hunting. So it has just been a lot, but I will start to get back at it. And we have been entering trades in the trading challenge. I am eyeing up some things for that as well. But get in the Discord. The link is right under the video. Also, if you want to get in the Discord for free, hit the top link, sign up for Moomoo, open an account, and deposit even a penny. Once they give you your free stocks, you can choose to sell them or keep them, and that could potentially pay for the Discord. You're also getting level 2 order book data for free access to going long, going short, and more as a retail trader. Both of those links are in the top of the description and pinned in the top of comments. Buy $4.95 even, down 0.9% on a day. Beautiful double top here. Looking bad. It may come down to test structural support around 494.10 all the way down to potentially 489.20. That would be the less likely case scenario, but just know that that is a possibility. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a cool off as well. Honestly, this pullback across the board is healthy. If Bitcoin comes down and retests 49 to 50K before pushing higher, just shows that the move higher is going to be stronger than it would have been if it just continued to climb. Speaking of Bitcoin, Swiss Post Office to launch Bitcoin trading and custody services tomorrow. They have 2.5 million customers and is the 5th biggest bank in Switzerland, so another positive for Bitcoin. Tesla breaking down 192.68, down 3.64% on the day. At this point, we are trading in this channel, holding support here. Watch for another break back over 197. One thing to note, as of right now, as Tesla is trading, this is playing out the bearish setup that we have drawn out, but that's with a grain of salt as of right now. Just watching for a break back over 197. If we break below out of this channel, I'm watching for a hold anywhere above 187.80. Nvidia sold off, breaking through this aggressive ascending trend line, testing a level that we had drawn out right around 684, holding it as support. Watch 668 for another retracement on Nvidia, and then potentially a gap all the way down to 634. Bottom, in my opinion, being around 612. Now, Reddit is reportedly selling user content to an unknown AI company in a $60 million deal before they IPO. Capital One to acquire Discover Financial for around $35 billion. And finally, here are the stocks that are trending this week. Palantir, MDB, Nvidia, Uber, Axon, STLA, ANETU, Baba, PayPal. And the last sprinkle on top, I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you had $10,000 to invest today and sell on December 31st of this year, at the end of the year, what stock would you put it in? That is it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed your long weekend. We got a lot of stuff to cover this week, so make sure to have post notifications on, like the video. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.